Well, good morning and welcome along to day 2 of the Super European Goalball League Division North 2023. My name is Bradley Hope and I'll be joined by Florim Seremetti for today's action on day 2 here in Espoo, and we've got a full lineup for you, 10 games. It's our second day of group stage action, and our first game comes from Pool A between Aisti Sport and Näpäjä. It's a Finnish derby to get us underway on day 2. Well, Florim, a very exciting first day, and of course today will shape up who will play each other in the qualification games tomorrow, so it's an important day for all the teams.
Yeah, definitely, and good morning to you all. And the first game is a derby between the two Finnish teams, and it's going to be a very interesting game to see how they can push each other, because they know each other so well.
So currently in Group A we have Aisti Sport in 2nd spot and Näpäjä in 3rd spot. Kemnitsa atop, only on goal difference with that +6 ahead of Aisti Sport on +4. So if Aisti Sport if they win or draw, will go top ahead of the rest of the games today. So our two referees are Patrick Larsson from Sweden and we have Tiago Oliveira from Portugal. Näpäjä are on the right of your screen in the green tops, with Aisti to the left in the black tops with those luminous yellow numbers. And to get us underway we have Mitila on the right on this near side, with the effort down this near sideline that's smothered by Joni Erlinen playing on the left of the 3 for Näpäjä, who stands tall, leans on the crossbar, gives it a whip down the court and it goes wide of the near post.
We also see Matila on the right wing. He usually plays on the left wing, so that's a little bit of unusual to see. And for Näpäjä we have the same 3 starters as yesterday, with Vasilainen on the right hand side, Posio on the center, and Ylönen on the left hand side.
So Vasilainen, here he goes, and he breaks through the Aisti defence. They get the first score in the Finnish derby. It's 1-0 inside the opening 33 seconds to Näpäjä. Can Aisti respond straight away? Vilmontinen's first throw of the morning into the midriff of Jani Vasilainen on the right. Far side of your picture on the live stream. Welcome along this morning if you are just joining us. Full day of action. Whipped one across the cross court from Vasilainen, that's knocked out by Matila on this near side.
Matila with the ball on the right hand side, throws into the gap, blocked by the legs of Posio, passes the ball back to Ylönen. Ylönen, left spin, straight into the center.
Montinen on that far side just gets his angles wrong on this time. 5 goals yesterday for Vilmontinen, playing on the left of the 3 this morning. Here is Vasilainen. Now registering his 10th goal in the North Division, 9 yesterday, 1 of course already this morning. Joni Vasilainen, Joni Erlinen now will have the chance to throw. It's down the middle, that's blocked. Mika Honkanen does a lot of work in that central position for Aisti Sport. Vilmontinen now with a bouncing effort that just lands nicely into the path of Petri Posio, wearing those luminous orangey red trainers. They really do stand out, and that's a good save, diving to the left by Vilmontinen, really troubled Vilmontinen. It was a good whipped effort from Jani Vasilainen, who looks like he's woken up on the right side of bed this morning.
Now we have Matila with the ball on the center, throws just to the left of Posio, blocked by the feet of Ylönen. Now Vasilainen with the ball on the right hand side, Throws into the gap, and they basically copy and paste from the first goal there. And we have 2-0 for Näpäjä.
Yeah, pretty much a carbon copy of the that first goal. And that's 11 goals now for Jani Vasalainen. He really is motoring this morning. Great start for Näpäjä. Matila, can Aisti respond? They do. They find that space between the centre and the left winger. And it's 2-1, and that's the goal that Aisti really needed just to get themselves going this morning. And it's Matila who gets it for Aisti Sport. But that's a instant reply. And it's 3-1, 4 goals already in the opening 2.5 minutes. And there's a substitution here for Aisti Sport. So Markus Tihumäki is going to come on to replace Vil Montanen. He's been put under a lot of work already in the opening 2.5 minutes as Vil Montanen. Is that a substitution that makes sense early on for you, Florian?
Considering how the start has been now, and it really shows that these teams know each other really well, and they have really used the gaps that Montanen sometimes have in the deep pocket, and also cross court by his post. So I think it's wise now to bring in Tihumäki to have him on the right wing and move Jarno Mattila over back to the left hand side. And he has the ball now. Cross court, just blocked out.
Yeah, manages to just get enough on it to tip it around the left post. Petri Posio has the ball in his hands, just slightly arcs his run right of centre, goes towards his near side, saved by Markus Tihumäki, the substitute in the thick of the action already this morning. 6 goals to his name yesterday. Trying to add a 7th there, but it just goes past the far post.
Vasalainen from center now. Straight to center, blocked by Honkanen. Passes back to the left hand side to Mattila. Just wide.
There were 2 goals just earlier on in this game by Jani Vasalainen that went through that gap between the centre and the left winger. Is that change in formation to put Mattila on the left side just a way of being able to shore up that gap and make it a little bit more compact?
Yeah, because Jarno Mattila plays a little bit higher up on the court, so the gap in between him and Honkanen isn't as big as between him and Montanen. So I think it's quite very wise to make the change they did.
Here is that man, Jani Vasalainen, 2 goals already this morning, looking to try and add a 3rd, and he was close to adding a 3rd. 4th for Näpäjä, but it was a good stop in the end. That's an awkward one that's saved by Vasalainen. And he nearly breaks through there again, but...
Good block there by the feet of the Mattila.
Jani Erlinen now going towards that same space, but already making the difference. Mattila on the left side of the 3. Some good covering work. Vasalainen in the action again. Just comes a step to his left. He's still not on the far side of the court. Looks to that gap again, but it's good work. Mika Honkanen flinging himself to the left to push the ball away. Out of court. Tihumäki now. Just standing slightly right of centre. Goes towards this near side of the court. And it's saved.
Quick reply here from Mattila. Cross court just blocked easily there by the legs of Posio. Now Posio with the ball in center. Throws cross court and a block there from the body of Mattila. Tihumäki on the right hand side throws cross court into the center, but he needs to get a little bit further out of Posio's edges.
Reply by Mika Honkanen, going for that far side, trying to catch out Vassalainen, who'd made that arcing run, and it's just a simple roll back to Aisti Sport. Aisti with possession. Matila on the far side just takes a moment to pause himself and unleashes the ball. The ball barbbles and bounces, and it just goes wide. Erlin manages to just read it and palm the ball away. Erlin, an awkward effort that goes wide again. That's two chances, one for either team. It just goes wide of the near posts, but it remains 3-1 to Näpäjä. Here's Tiumäki, a cross-court effort that's blocked by Vassalainen. It's been solid this morning. Jani Vassalainen, good start to his day, and that's another wicked effort that has to be pushed away by Tiumäki as we approach the end of the first quarter of the match. Näpäjä leading by 3-1. This is a bouncing effort that's smothered and blocked out.
And we have a timeout there for Näpäjä. The first timeout after, and we have 6 minutes and 2 seconds remaining of the first half. And after the quick goals in the beginning, they have settled down quite a lot in the defense. And I think the big change that Aisti made after the substitution had a big impact in the defense. So, but now in the offense, they need to work a little bit more together between Mattila and Tiumäki, just to be able to create the gaps together. Because now they only throw for themselves from the wings. They don't really open the gaps for each other.
So an equipment check, timeout. After the initial timeout that was called. Here we go, restart now. Vassalainen. There's a bit of pace behind that throw, and it's a ball over. Had that much power on the throw, ricocheting off Honkanen. Näpäjä have another chance to try and beat this Aisti defence. Honkanen is there. Well, we had plenty of goals yesterday. If goals is what you enjoy, then you were in for a treat yesterday, whereas Florum is hoping for a little bit more defensive solidity today.
Yeah, most definitely, because we saw a lot of goals yesterday, and of course some of them were very top-level, high-class goals, but a lot of the goals yesterday was just pure bad defense, in my opinion, and to be able to be one of the best clubs teams in the world, that you need to pick up your defense.
Well, Tiumäki does well in the end after that effort from Vassalainen that just bobbled off up into the air and palmed it away at the second attempt just before it crossed the line. Tiumäki goes back towards Vassalainen, but he's not getting past him. He's in solid form this morning to try and add another one, and it's kicked away by Honkanen. It's a ball over.
Beautiful accuracy and angle there from Vassalainen. Now Posio with the ball in center. Throws to the left-hand side and just touches the post on the outside.
Matila is just come towards this near side now and heads towards that gap between Erlinen and Posio, but Posio gets his legs behind the ball. Erlinen now on this near side, steps up the court and hurls it at Tiumäki.
And Tiumäki goes a lot of the times with only one arm, so there could be a small gap to use there as it is post.
And Tiumäki, he responds for Aisti Sport, and that gap between Posio and Erlinen, they managed to break through. And with 4 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock at the end of this first half, it is 3-2
And it was after a movement from Tihimäki. He went from the right-hand side to the left-hand side and threw across court to throw with small awkward bounce. Just touched the feet of Petri Posio and over the left wing of Ylönen. And we have 2 goals for Aisti, 3 for Näpäjä with 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
Ylönen just to the left of Posio, goes down the centre. Honkanen is there to smother the ball and hands it to his teammate Tihimäki to his right. Cross-court effort towards Vassalainen. Appeared to be going wide, but Vassalainen just got something on it anyway.
Vassalainen from the center throws cross-court straight into the stomach of Tihimäki. Tihimäki now on the right-hand side throws into the gap, blocked there by Ylönen quite comfortably. Ylönen on the left-hand side throws to the center, blocked by the legs of Honkanen. Passes the ball to Mattila with a quick throw, cross-court, blocked, and the quick return by Posio. Blocked by Mattila again, and he calms down the pace.
Yeah, Mattila going for that gap. No, it's a quick reply from Vassalainen. That all of a sudden, in the space of 30 seconds, it's been throw. It's been rapid stuff. Tihimäki's opted to go to that far side of the court now, goes cross-court to the near side towards Ylönen, but he gets his body behind it. Takes a bit of a run-up and goes towards Tihimäki, who's back in position. Honkanen towards Vassalainen on that far side of the court, but he remains solid. 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining of the first half, and that had a bit of oomph behind it, but Mattila was there to stop the ball going any further. Mattila whips it down that far side of the court. Vassalainen quickly responds towards Honkanen in the centre, but he blocks the ball as well. Quick passage of play. Tihimäki just slightly leans on the crossbar, crouches down, bends the knees and goes towards that far right side again. But Vassalainen, nothing is getting past him this morning. Here is Ylönen, who tries to whip it down the court. It's saved, and there's a timeout here for Aisti Sport. So 5 goals in the first 10 minutes of the match, but it's been a bit of a more conservative match, despite there being 5 goals. Both defences seem a little bit more sure, since you mentioned, Florim, about that change in the formation for Aisti.
Yeah, but also the throws it could be a little bit better, especially when you talk about the angles, because a lot of the shots is straight shots, and it's much easier to defend. And you can see the goals that Vassalainen scored was perfect angles from the sideline into the gap. So that he could try to use even more, and for Aisti now, a deep pocket on the left-hand side between Posio and Vassalainen could be used a lot more, especially because you have Mattila on the left-hand side who has a good accuracy in the gap there.
Ylönen now. Tihimäki now towards Ylönen, but he's has his full body behind the ball, and he had to. Passes over to the far side. Vassalainen now really comes forward, and it had to be blocked. Power behind that throw. Mattila just gets his angles all wrong.
Vassalainen now goes from the right-hand side to the middle and throws from center, just to the right of center, blocked by Mattila. Mattila throws just wide, about a meter. seems like he's trying to push out Vasilainen out to the post and probably go into the gap that I was talking about earlier. Perhaps he heard me. Posio on the right-hand side, throws to the center, up in the air, and on the post. Just lands them in front of the players. Tihimaki now tries to reply, and he does.
There we go. Well, it was nearly 4-2 to Näpäjä off the crossbar, and in the space of a couple of seconds, it's 3-3 with just under a minute to go. Erlin just couldn't get his angles to clear the ball away, and Tihimaki saves that effort from Erlin.
Goalball is a sport of margins. Very good bounce there, just saved by the hand of Vasilainen. A good long ball. We have a long ball on Vasilainen there.
And all of a sudden, Aisti Sport could be 30 seconds away from going into the half-time break with a lead.
After being down 1-3.
An excellent comeback. It's an awkward one, and it's expertly saved by Vasilainen. Could have been going wide anyway.
Yeah.
But made short. And he makes up for his mistake. And Posio goes down this near side, and it's kicked away, preventing the ball over. Mika Honkanen springs to action. Tihimaki now on this near side again, goes towards Erlin. He gets his body in the way.
He has a little bit of curve in the bouncing ball also, Tihimaki. That makes it very difficult to defend against. We have 9 seconds remaining here, and Mattila comes over to the right-hand side to pick up the ball, and is going to throw from the right-hand side just to have another angle. And wide. 3 seconds remaining. And we're going to have a throw. Vasilainen comes over to the left-hand side, throws into the gap, and blocked out. And half-time, ladies and gentlemen. 3-3 between two teams that know each other really well. And it has been shown.
It has, yeah, the Finnish derby, and both of these teams cannot be separated at the half-time break. Aisti Sport 3, Näpäjä 3. Well, this is our first game of 10 today. It's our final day of group stage action. Of course, the top 4 positions in each group will then play in qualification matches tomorrow. The bottom 2 clubs of both the pool stages in Pool A and Pool B will play each other in a 9th, 10th placement match. So today is a crucial day in deciding whether you get to play obviously in that qualification game, where you are in the qualification game.
And we got the music going also to wake everybody up.
I was going to say, I think that blast of music has just jolted everyone into action this morning.
Yeah, and we have some spectators following us in the broadcast. No comments so far. Don't be shy. Let us know where you're watching the games from. Ask any questions if you're wondering something, or just say hi. We have a lovely day here in Finland. It's not so cold today.
It's not so cold, although I'm hearing that the temperature is going to start to plummet
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I think to -14. Thankfully, we're indoors tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you've got a flight back to Sweden, which is that obviously a little bit warmer, obviously compared to here. I don't know how much.
Yeah, around 6-7 Celsius degrees.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
It's not warm, but it's warmer than here.
Yeah, it's warmer than -14.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the same in the UK, that's for sure. But we can actually, from mine and Florian's position, there's some glass windows that are opposite us on the other side of the arena, and we can just see the trees with snow covering the branches of those trees. It's a bit of a looks like we're sort of in the middle of a forest from our position here in the commentary box, in a winter paradise. Thankfully we're indoors and it's nice and warm.
It's nice and warm in here, and but the view is beautiful.
It's lovely, isn't it? It really is.
Goal
nice.
ball underneath us, the snow and forest straight ahead.
It really is a unique vantage point from our position here.
Now we're about to start the second half, and we have no substitutions in either team. And we have Näpäjä, who's going to have the first throw of the second half.
So here we go. Näpäjä to the right, Aisti on the left. Näpäjä will get us underway, and Jenni Vastalainen had a really solid first half, gets us underway with the first throw of the second half. Mattila, who's really shored up that far left side for Aisti Sport since moving over to that far left side of the court.
And the throw there, just wide, about a half meter out on the left hand side, and now we have Vasilainen with the ball on the right hand side. Throws into the gap, but easily blocked there by the legs of Mattila.
Yeah, he scored 2 earlier on in the match between that gap between the centre and the left winger. But since that change for Aisti Sport, that gap has certainly closed up.
Mäki with the throw from the right hand side, straight down the line, blocked by Ylönen. Vasilainen comes over to the left hand side this time and picks up the ball. Gonna throw straight to center, but blocked, ricocheted up in the air. And we have 4 goals for Näpäjä and 3 for Aisti. And that's third for Vasilainen.
Yeah, that change of approach, coming over towards this near side. Can Aisti straight away? Not this time. So that's 12 goals now in the competition. He moves to 3rd in the top scorers charts behind Dan Roper and Renner Tida. Vastalainen now standing in the centre of his goal, so another change of attack and a long ball called, yeah. Almost just getting a little bit too excited.
Yeah, too eager to score 1 more goal.
So Aisti Sport with the opportunity here to get back to all square.
This time we have Mäki, who sneaks into the center position, throws from center, and a beautiful goal on the left hand side, just to the right of Vasilainen. And we have all equalized again, 4-4, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no mistake there from Mäki. Nicely put away. Here's Petri Posio. Can he score? He does, just on the side netting. In fact, the ball went through the side netting. It was that close.
It was Petri Posio who just after the penalty throws from the center to the left hand side. Just touched the hand that I was talking about earlier, that he goes with one hand to the post, and that's exactly the spot he hit, and just sneaked into the corner of the goal.
So 5-4. Couple of goals in the space of a minute, and that one was kicked away by Ylönen. Tihumäki going back towards Vassalainen, but so far cannot get past Vassalainen on that far right side of the court.
Vassalainen now starts the run from the outside of the court, goes into the angle. A good block there by Honkanen. Mattila from the sideline to the center, blocked by Kosio, passes the ball to Ylonen. And wide on the left hand side.
Quiet, please. Play.
It takes two of them to stop the ball. Näpäjä as Erlin just deflects the ball into Vassalainen's path, and he throws now from that far side towards Honkanen. He slides out towards his near side to collect the loose ball, passes it to his teammate on the far side, rolls down that far sideline, and it goes wide, well wide in the end. But a throw with purpose from Mattila.
Ylonen takes the ball from the right hand side, sneaks back to the left hand side, throws down the line, and good block there by Marcus Tihumäki, who goes from right to left, throws from the left hand side, and a quick return by Vassalainen to the center, and blocked by Honkanen, passes the ball back to Mattila.
Lock out.
Cross court effort there from Mattila, blocked by Ylonen.
Lynn has the block, and the ball's just trickling towards the centre line, and it's a ball over.
Quiet, please. Play. Out.
Now we have Vassalainen coming again from the right hand side to the left hand side. And a beautiful block there from the hands of Honkanen, and we have a timeout for Aisti Sport with 8 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here.
Well, it's another really close game so far. We had a couple of draws yesterday. We had a 5-5 and an 8-8, and this one is shaping up to be another really close game. Also, just a bit of net repairs. There was that fifth goal for Näpäjä that went through the side netting after the initial save from Tihumäki. Just repairing that net.
Tihumäki with the ball from center, throws out towards the Vassalainen on the right hand side, blocked by him. Ylonen on the left hand side, throws cross court, blocked out. Tihumäki with the ball on the right hand side, throws cross court just underneath Posio. Blocked behind him by Vassalainen. Posio from center. Throws cross court, blocked by Honkanen, who passes the ball to Mattila. Mattila with a short run up. Ooh, almost sneaked by the feet of Vassalainen there.
It's the closest they've come to actually getting through Vassalainen this morning. He did well to cover one a couple of throws ago, but it nearly sneaked through that time. Tried to break through the barrier Mika Honkanen, but he stood strong, and Tihimaki just goes to the left of Honkanen. He's on that far side, but goes cross court to this near side, and Erlin is there to cover the ball. Just stands tall, slightly leans on the crossbar, hurls the ball forward towards Honkanen. Gathers the ball at the second attempt. Matila will respond. Goes down that far side. Vasalainen quickly throws back towards Honkanen in the centre, and it just bobbles slightly forward, and Honkanen gathers the ball and throws to his teammate to his right, Tihimaki, who launches one. It's a bouncing effort. Petru Posio saves and hands it over to Vasalainen. Vasalainen only finds the feet of Mika Honkanen. It's a quick pace game here. Bit of sense of urgency from Aisti Sport. It's being one goal down. Näpäjä at the moment in the driving seat. Another goal would certainly help, and they nearly got one there. Tihimaki just getting in the way as we approach the final quarter of the match. Joni Erlin gets his feet and kicks the ball away. Petru Posio's up quickly. Gathers the ball, hands it over to Vasalainen, and he whips one down the court, trying to find a way through that gap once again between Matila and Honkanen. But since that change in the first half, goals have been hard to come by between those two, as it has been between Posio and Vasalainen, who've been really solid.
Very solid defense in both teams at the moment. Now with his first throw of the game, with a short run of upward bounce, and we have a timeout for Näpäjä with 5:37 remaining, and we have 5 goals for Näpäjä and 4 for Aisti.
So just a quick reminder that our next game will also come from Pool A. It will be Inversport Ukraine taking on Birmingham. And at the moment, as it lines up in the Group A, Inversport are 4th in the group. Birmingham are 5th. Inversport with 2 draws yesterday, still searching for their first win. So Aisti Sport at the moment are on course to record their first defeat of the North Division Champions League. Unbeaten coming into the day. Vasalainen, a cross-court effort that just sneaks through under the body of Marcus Tihimaki.
We had it was just between his arms and just pushed his eye shades off his face, and the patches is off and everything. He needs to be repatched now. Tihimaki. And we have 5:29 remaining.
Yeah, his eye shades came off as the ball went underneath him. So it's 6-5 to Näpäjä.
6-4.
6-4, I should say. Sorry, yeah, 6-4. 2-goal difference. Crucial.
A small cushion to have. Be able to relax a little bit, but not too much, because otherwise it's goal ball is, like we said earlier, a goal ball of a game of inches.
It's amazing how you, one stage you feel very comfortable, and then all it takes is one throw and the pressure is back on. Can this be the throw? Oh, Matila can't get past Vasalainen, and they've not been able to get past him all game.
Both Vasalainen and Ylönen has been very good to cover up when the throws come cross court. The cover up behind the center has been really good. So I think for Aisti Sport they need to find more the angles into the gap in between the wings instead of cross court.
Quiet, please. Play.
And the ball just bobbles and bounces, and it takes Posio and Vassalainen to cover the ball. They do well. Vassalainen on this near side goes towards the centre to Honkinen. Honkinen replies quickly towards Vassalainen. Does well to get back into position for just under 4.5 minutes remaining. And Tiomaki does just enough to clear the ball off the line. Initially parry towards him from Honkinen. Tiomaki goes towards Petri Posio and it just ricochets out of play.
Quiet, please. Play. Out.
Zila towards Posio, saved by the ankles of Posio. And it's cleared away by the sole of the foot from Honkinen. Just about gets something to it. And long ball given against Tiomaki, so this really is the chance for Näpäjä to get a solid, comfortable lead in a game of fine margins so far. It's a chance for Näpäjä just to have a little bit of breathing space going into the final 4 minutes. Petri Posio standing in the centre of his goal, and it's saved by Tiomaki, who does well diving to his right. He was scrambling, just making sure that the ball was going to go wide.
It was a penalty thrown from the center to the center, so we have Montanen comes back in instead of Tiomaki. Let's see now if we will have Montanen back on the left-hand side or have him on the right-hand side. He usually plays on the left wing, so we will be back on the original starting 3 players lineup.
Quiet, please. Play.
Oh, it's just kicked out of play out to that far side.
Vassalainen is going to try out the angle immediately. He starts to run up from the outside of the court, throws down the line and blocked by the hand of Montanen. Montanen now on the left-hand side. To the center, the lid blocked there by Posio. Posio gives the ball to Vassalainen. Cross court, blocked by the feet of Honkinen, and we have a ball over.
We do, and it's Petri Posio now just standing slightly right of centre. Goes towards Honkinen, who clears the ball away, gathers it and hands it over to his teammate Mattila on this near side of the court now. Erlin sweeps up the ball. Erlin will go cross court, attempts to, and it's initially saved by Montanen, and he pushes the ball away with both of his hands. Towards Vassalainen and scores! Well, a huge goal for Aisti Sport. Vil Montanen coming on as a substitute and actually finally gets past Vassalainen. Is that the goal that sparks a bit of a comeback here for Aisti Sport? Vassalainen, Montanen slides in, remains strong. launches an attack towards Vassalainen, but it's wide.
And it's only 1 goal difference now between the teams. 5 for Aisti, 6 for Näpäjä, with 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining of the second half. Nerve-wracking finish here now, but
It certainly is. It's all of a sudden got a little bit tense down on the court. Finnish derby. Aisti Sport. Näpäjä. And a high ball called against Mattila. And a chance now for Näpäjä to open up that 2-goal gap once again. Posio standing just on that far side, comes more centrally, goes towards this near side and scores. As Mattila was standing in the centre of his goal. Näpäjä 7-5, that 2-goal advantage. How crucial that could be. In the final 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Posio gathers the ball. Unleashes towards Will Montanen. Montanen saves. Can Will Montanen score again? Can he go past Vassalainen? He can't. And it's a goal for Näpäjä, and it's between Honkanen and Montanen, and it's 8-5, and that should be that. Never say never, but Näpäjä defensively have been solid throughout the match with that 3-goal cushion, and there's going to be a substitution here. Mattila comes off to Maki. He's going to come back out onto the court, and Näpäjä, well, it seems like they have secured the win with just under 2 minutes to go. It's going to be a big ask for Aisti Sport.
yeah, definitely, and especially when you have Janne Mattila exiting the court now, and that was the 8th goal was due to a very beautiful shot there from Vassalainen with the bouncing ball that touches the hands of Honkanen, but he still can't keep it out of the net because it's so much power in the throw. And that gives Näpäjä a 3-goal cushion now with almost 90 seconds remaining.
Lockout.
Very smart from Posio to just leave the ball outside there and just give the team 1 or 2 seconds more to rest. The change of pace in the Näpäjä team is also one of the factors that have been very successful in this game, because the Aisti team doesn't really know what kind of throw is heading towards us, and both Ylönen and Vassalainen moves around a lot, so it's difficult to predict the type of throws that is coming.
Maki, 1 minute 20 seconds to go. Hits the outside of the post and goes wide. Timeout called by Aisti Sports. 1 minute and 6 seconds. So at the moment, Näpäjä are heading top of Group A. Of course, still 9 more games to come today after this one. But as it stands, Näpäjä will go into top spots. Aisti will be 3rd in the group with just over a minute remaining. That 3-goal cushion feels like it will be enough for Näpäjä to secure their 2nd win of the North Division after their 13-3 mercy win against Birmingham yesterday. Well, of course, both of these teams will be in action once again. Aisti Sport will be up against Kemnitsa. Näpäjä up against Inversport Ukraine, and it hits the crossbar and goes in from the first throw after the timeout. Now, can Aisti Sport gather a little bit of momentum?
Much better start from Montanen since he re-entered the court here. His second goal. A bounce that just goes in between the legs of Posio. We have 53 seconds remaining. Another timeout for Aisti Sport now, with 44 seconds remaining. A quick goal here and we suddenly have a game again.
We certainly do. It's amazing what a goal does. It can completely change the dynamic of a game going into the final 45 seconds. If Aisti Sport can get another goal, as they did last time, straight after the timeout, then it will set up a really good finish. Might just get the butterflies and the nerves flowing through the nerves of Näpäjä. Here we go. Big moments in the game. Tiimäki, can he score straight away? Tiimäki. It's kicked away from Posio.
Very good accuracy there from Marcus Tiimäki, but just blocked by the feet of Posio. Vassalainen. No, sorry, Ylönen on the left-hand side. And we're
so Tiimäki comes off, replaced by Mitila. 31 seconds left on the clock.
Still possible.
Certainly is. Every throw counts now for Aisti if they can score this next one. Set up a grandstand finish. That one goes wide from Matila. So 29 seconds to go. Posio for that gap. Montanen saves, hands it to his teammate, Vil Montanen. To go in now, Vil Montanen, Posio does well. And 13 seconds remaining. The near side of the court, saved. Matila responds towards that far side of the Näpäjä goal. That one is wide. There's 3 seconds remaining. Näpäjä have the win, and there is the full-time hooter. And in the Finnish derby in Group A, it is Näpäjä who win by 8-6. It was a really fascinating matchup between these two sides. Both teams a lot more defensively solid compared to yesterday's action across the board. That felt like a proper goal ball game this morning.
Yeah, definitely. Tactical game. They know each other so well, so it really took something extra to be able to beat the opponents. And Näpäjä was just a little bit stronger in the defense throughout the 24 minutes. So well-deserved win from Näpäjä.
So that concludes game number 1 on day 2. Our next game comes from Pool A as well. It'll be Inversport Ukraine taking on Birmingham. That's coming up next.